Hey guys, and welcome to another video from me, Brooke at Mantis Illumination. So today we're talking again about the Zhiyun Crane 2 follow focus unit that you've got there. You may have seen that it's now become widely available. It's on eBay, Amazon, AliExpress, etc. I was lucky enough to get a very early order from AliExpress, the link of which you'll see in the comments below. So I've had this unit for about a week now, very exciting. Just a bit of a disclaimer, I paid for this unit myself. This is not a Zhiyun endorsed post. Just look at my subscriber count, you'll clearly see that they didn't give me free gear. Anyway, I've had a lot of you reach out to me, both via the firmware that I talked about in my previous video, the 1.713, and I've seen a lot of questions posed to me on email about, oh, can you tell me about this, that or the other on the follow focus unit. So I thought I'd do a quick video to cover off two things, a little bit of troubleshooting on making sure to get the follow focus unit working, and two, run through some of the questions that people have asked me and provide some answers or my thoughts. So first of all, if you've just bought it and it's not working once you've put it on and you've gone through all the rigmarole of balancing it, have you updated your firmware? You need firmware that is higher than version 1.70. Zhiyun gave me, through their support on Facebook, version 1.713. I have provided that to a number of people now who have asked for it, and they've all had the success of their follow focus unit working. There's another troubleshooting thing that might happen that you might need to deal with. If you've already upgraded your firmware to the 1.713 or higher, whichever it's out at the moment, and it's not working, what you need to try is this cable here, swap it around. So reverse the cable, unplug it from both ends, swap it around, plug it back in, and you should have joy. As you can see here, mine's moving and spinning. So they're the two main things that I've found that have caused me a bit of difficulty. I highly recommend being very careful when you're taking the wires out and putting them in. I always find that these sorts of connection points are the weak links. You don't want to break anything when you're putting it in, pulling it out, because that's not a user serviceable part, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Now let's run through some of the questions that you guys have reached out to me on. If you've got any other questions as well, just comment below the questions. I'm happy to help and throw my advice or thoughts in your direction. Alright, so the first question was, can the manual follow focus unit be flipped and mounted on the left hand side of the camera? I'm going to come out with a simple no, outside of some sort of modification to the Crane 2. So where the follow focus unit mounts onto the crane is on the right hand side here. On this little base plate here, which is where you slide the camera on, there is a hole which is where the follow focus unit goes. So it attaches on the right hand side. It is made for this spot. You can, and I've seen it, reverse mounted, so you can put the unit on it backwards and underneath, or you can do it as I have, which is the normal mount and on the side. But turning the follow focus and the crane around to this side, there is nowhere for this to be mounted so that you could have it out here. You could only mount that if you had some sort of a modification to the unit, but again, that's going to start throwing out your balance as well, because you're now going to be left heavy versus right heavy. You could rebalance it, no issues at all, I'm sure. The next question I've got is, can you use this unit with much smaller diameter lenses? So the one I've got at the moment on is a 35 1.4G. It's a fairly fat barrel. The question is, could we use it on a smaller barrel? Absolutely. These little cogs here, the plastic cogs that go around the focus ring, they're really flexible. You can see them in my unboxing video, just how flexible they are. You can get that into a nice little circle loop quite easily. You won't have a problem mounting that. It's more going to be a case of making sure that you can get the follow focus unit in there nice and close. But this little piece here, the follow focus unit itself, this bit here, it's adjustable up and down on its connection to the rod, so you won't have a problem at all. Can the follow focus unit be used on longer lenses like the 85 or the 105 135s? Absolutely, you can. I've had my 85 1.4 on, no problem at all with reaching the focus unit and the focus ring. If you've seen my earlier video, it talks about this Nikon 70 to 200 2.8 lens. I can't even get that to balance on the crane, let alone worrying about sticking the focus unit on to pull focus. As I said in that video, don't really know why I'd want 70 to 200 on a gimbal. That's a hell of a lot of weight to carry. It's a very long lens, and any lens of that length, micro vibrations, etc. are going to be really visible, especially towards the 200mm end of that lens. So Long lenses, sort of that medium telephoto. I haven't got a 105 or a 135 anymore to test. If anyone wants to throw one in my direction, if they live in Perth, Western Australia, happy to test it out. I promise I won't keep your lens. But look, 85 works great. That's my longest lens in a prime outside of the zoom, so I can't really test any more than that. Another question that I've had is what's it actually made of, this unit? So the unit itself, the body of it is metal. Sounds great, nice and solid. The little cogwheel that's inside that turns the focus unit, that looks to be a plastic composite of some sort, nice and hard, not brittle at all, which is good because if it got stuck I didn't want to detooth the gearing. This bit here that goes around the focus, as I've said before, is like a solid rubber, which is nice, flexible, but not brittle flexible, which is great. And the cable is a cable, as you can tell. The little mounting arm that goes on is all the same metal material that's made the Zhiyun Crane body. Look, it's a really well built unit. I'm really happy with it. I love it. Now that I've got it working, as to my previous video where I actually got the firmware updated and it all works, it's fantastic, and the ability to pull the focus is brilliant. The next question that's been sent in is whether the follow focus unit is speed variable. So by that, does it, if I move the wheel slowly, does it move slowly? If I move the wheel quickly, does it move quickly? It does. I can move it slowly and it will move slowly. I can move it quickly and it moves quickly. It's really responsive. And in another little video, you'll see that I'll do a little latency test, so you can just see me spinning the wheel and the lens, and we'll see just how quickly it adjusts. There's zero lag here. It's brilliant. The last question that I've been given is just the feedback on the power of the motor of the follow focus. So I've had no problems with it turning any of my focus rings on any of the lenses I have. Most of my lenses are all the Nikon 1.4 version in the primes and the 2470, which I haven't actually tested on, but that focus ring is smooth as. If you've got any older manual focus lenses and they're quite a solid barrel to turn, I don't think you'll have any problem with it, because the torque in this motor, it feels very, very strong in terms of being able to move it. If I put a little bit of resistance on this here, it's still turning, and I'm trying to hold it and it's still turning. You see it pulling the camera. So I don't think you're going to have a problem there. And that was me holding the lens. I don't think you're going to have any problem with any of the heavier lenses. Having said that though, I don't have any Zeiss glass to test. Again, if someone wants to make one available, I will pop it on the body and I'll test it out for you guys. But I don't reckon you're going to have any problems at all. Alright guys, that's all from me. Like I said, just a quick video, a few questions, a little bit of troubleshooting to make sure that your follow focus unit for the Crane 2 can work. If you like this video, click like. If you don't like it, I don't give a shit. Click dislike. Love to see your comments or any questions you got in the bottom. And if you want to keep in touch with what this crazy Aussie has to say, why don't you hit subscribe and you'll keep in touch. Thanks guys, all the best, see you soon.